Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a pair of beautiful geometric earrings using polymer clay. You may have seen some tutorials about the polymer clay slab earrings on the internet, but I'll show you some new tricks in this video, including how to add the metal frame to the polymer clay, how to make the back of the clay prettier, and how to cut perfectly even polymer clay pieces for geometric pattern. If you are interested, let's dive in together. First, let's make the background for the polymer clay slab. Prepare two metal frames, one square and one triangle, and put them on a piece of flat polymer clay sheet. You can get those frames in my website Crystals and Clay. I'll list the purchase link below. The clay showing here is Fimo Soft polymer clay in Sahara color. I'll list all the polymer clay used here in the description box below. Next, we'll use a rolling pin to roll the frame into the clay. To prevent the clay from sticking to the rolling pin, place a piece of paper tissue on top. The back of the polymer clay tends to be dirty and ugly. If you are using the slab as an earring, the back will be visible to other people. Therefore, it's a good idea to indent the back with an impression mat and create some visual interests. After rolling, you should be able to peel off the polymer clay directly from the impression mat. This is what the back will look like, much better than the ones without the impression mat. To make the back even prettier, we can clean the edges a little bit. First, cut the straight line using a long blade. Then, use the needle tool to remove all the extra clay. This is how the back of the earring looks like. This is the front. Both sides look clean and neat. Here, I want to recommend two essential tools for polymer clay crafting. The first is the long blade. When you need a long straight cut, this blade is much more effective than the crafting knife. The second is the needle tool. It has a very fine tip at the end, great for any kind of detail work. You can also use the smooth end to pick up small polymer clay pieces. You will see that later in this video. All the tools can be purchased at my website Crystals and Clay. I'll list the purchase link in the description box below. Now moving on to the next step, we are going to cut the geometric shapes that needed for this design. In order to cut it nicely and evenly, there are a few tricks you need to learn. First, roll the polymer clay really thin using a rolling machine. You need to use the machine instead of a rolling pin to achieve the evenness needed for this project. Then let's take our template. You can print out the template in my website Crystals and Clay. I'll list the link below. Place the template on top of the clay. Then use the needle tool to poke through the paper and make marks on the clay underneath. The result looks like this. Use the long blade. Cut the clay according to the dots we just marked. Remember to place a piece of paper underneath the polymer clay, otherwise the clay might stick to the table. Once we got the shapes needed, we can start assembling the pattern. Using the other end of the needle tool, pick those small pieces up and arrange them based on the design. Avoid using your fingers. It will leave fingerprints on the clay. In addition, you might change the shape of the clay since it's soft. Remember, the background beige color clay has not baked yet, so it can stick to the clay pieces we added on top. Gently push those triangles to make sure they adhere to the clay underneath. You don't need glue or anything. After baking, they will stick together as one piece. Now all the triangles has been added. Next, we can work on the flower in the center. Similar to the prior steps I introduced earlier, roll a piece of red polymer clay really thin using the rolling machine. Then, mark the clay using the template and the needle tool. You can download the template as well as the polymer clay color recipe used in this project in my website crystalsandclay.com. The download link will be provided below. Once we have dots as the guideline, we can cut the clay using the long blade. Bear in mind, I designed this earring based on the size of the metal frame, which is 2 cm square. If you don't have the frame, you can enlarge the template when printing and find the right size for you. But I do like the effect of the metal frame. It gives the jewelry a much more polished look. You can get those in my website as well. It comes with many different shapes and sizes. I find them go very well with polymer clay slab. Now the pattern has been completed. In addition to the square, I also made a small triangle. The making process is exactly the same. The pattern is also included in the template listed in my website Crystals and Clay. Bake the polymer clay within the metal frame for 30 minutes at 230 Fahrenheit. After baking, you can easily remove the clay out of the metal frame. Then, we will need to trim a small piece off the clay to create a space for the jump ring. All you need is a nail clipper. Remember to only cut a tiny piece off. If you put the polymer clay back into the frame, you'll see a small hole has formed on top. Next, we'll need to attach the polymer clay and the metal frame together using super glue. Apply glue on all 4 sides of the polymer clay square. Then put it back in the frame. At this stage, the glue can be pretty messy and all over the place. But don't worry, we can easily clean it up when the glue dries. This is how the pieces look like after the glue dries. I've peeled off all the excess dry glue pieces. As you can see, besides the square, I also have a triangle piece that has been trimmed and glued. Now we can connect 2 pieces together using the jump ring. You can get all the materials, such as jump rings and pliers, I'm using in this video in my website Crystals and Clay. I'll list the purchase link below. As the final step, we need to glue an earring post on the top of the triangle piece. Remember to allow the glue to dry for at least 20 minutes. Longer is better. Now, our polymer clay slab earrings have been completed. It's a fun and easy project to work with, and the end result is pretty amazing. Give it a try and let me know how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time.